So in 2009, there was a new show came out that was called The Lottery Changed My Life. And I may or may have not have been slightly obsessed with this show. But I mean, who can blame me? It took everyday people like me and you, and it gave them millions of dollars, and we got to see what did they decide to do with that money. Some of them chose to buy fancy cars or houses. Some of them saved the money. Some of them even gave back to their community and decided to donate all of the money. So it kind of just got me thinking, what would I do if I won $1 million? Well, recently I've been doing a little bit of traveling, and along the side of the roads, I've noticed that there are Powerball signs advertising for the Powerball to try to win the jackpot. These signs have these giant numbers posted on them. They might have $10 million, $20 million. Sometimes I've even seen upwards of $300 million that you can win by getting the jackpot in Powerball. So it made me kind of curious, and so I decided to do a little bit of exploring. I decided to start with the Powerball website because I don't really know that much about Powerball. So I went over to the website to see how do you actually play Powerball and what is the current jackpot at. So I noticed that the next drawing is going to be on the 15th of April, and it's currently estimated at $22 million, which that's a good chunk of money. Not the highest that I've ever seen, but still very good. I also decided to kind of scroll through and look at some of the winnings. And so I noticed right away here the top winner won on January 29 of 2020, and it was $396.9 million. Now that's before they take out taxes, so the actual payment that this winner won was actually $276,558,034.09. Can't forget the 9 cents. Which, that's crazy. There's over $100 million in taxes, but this person still took home over $276 million. My brain cannot even fathom what that would actually be like. But as I kept scrolling, I was noticing some interesting things here too. There are people who are winning $100 million, $150 million, $100,000, and it really got me thinking, how is it possible that people can be winning this much money, but yet that model is still sustainable? And they're able to continue paying that amount every time. So I had to do a little bit more digging to figure out what are the actual rules of Powerball and how is it played. And it turns out that the logo is really important. There are 5 white balls that are drawn that are numbers 1 through 69. So you select 5 numbers, and that's representing the power. The ball is on a red one in the logo, and that's representing one number that you choose. That's numbers 1 through 26. So to find the actual probability of this, there are a total of 69 balls to start, and I get to choose 5 white numbers. So the probability of the first number drawing being one that I chose is 5 out of 69. Then after we've drawn 1, there are now only 68 balls left, and there are 4 more that I need. So the next probability for the next ball being drawn is 4 out of 68. We continue this pattern, so now I've drawn 2 balls, now there are 67 left, and I have 3 more options. Then for the 4th one, we're gonna have 66 total, and I have 2 options. On this last one, there are only 65 white balls left, and I only have 1 number that I need it to be. So right now, this is what we would use to find the probability of guessing all of the white balls correct. Then on top of that, I also have to get the red ball correct as well. And there were 26 red balls, and I only get to choose 1. So when we do this, we can take our handy dandy calculator and we can type it all in. When I do that, I'm going to take the tops of the fractions, those numerators, and I'm going to take 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 1, and I get a total of 121. So let's get that here. We've got 121 out of, when I multiply that whole bottom together, I'm going to take 69 times 68 times 67 times 66 times 65 times 26, and my calculator gives me a crazy long number. It's like 3.506, and at the end it has an e to the 10th. That's in scientific notation. And so this number ends up being 35064160560. So I'm going to add in some commas here because that helps us put this into reference. So this is actually the number 121 out of 35,064,160,560. Right now that might not mean a whole lot to you, but if I simplify this down, this simplifies down to 1 in 292,201,338. Now this right here, that's the probability of winning the jackpot. So that's a crazy number to think about. And so I started thinking like, yeah, my odds are not very good in winning that, but still that number $292 million does not begin to cover the $350 million of the person that won, of that giant jackpot. And so I had to start thinking about, well, how is it possible that this is actually a sustainable model? Well, I went on to do a little bit more research, and I discovered this here. So at the bottom, you'll notice it says that Powerball tickets cost $2 each. And so that means that for every one of these over here that's purchased, so that was my probability that I actually just found, each of those tickets, right now that's representing a person, but each of those tickets is $2. And so if I actually take that number and I multiply it by 2, I end up getting $584 million. It's actually just a little bit over that, which that easily covers that $350 million. And so while that's really interesting in itself, I was really curious about the rest of these, because these are the other prizes and how you can win them. So if you have 5 numbers matching, you can win $1 million. The odds of that happening are 1 in 11,688,000 and some. So this is crazy because here they're only actually giving away $1 million, but remember tickets cost $2, so we have to double this. So this is over $23 million, and they're only giving away $1 million. So that means there's $22 million just sitting out there. Okay, then we have this idea too. There's $50,000 prizes. The odds of that are better than just 1 in 1 million. So really, they're only giving away that $50,000, but really they're getting about $2 million in sales of those tickets. Now, it is important to remember that this is all theoretical right here. So just because the jackpot says that it's 1 in 292 million doesn't mean that there couldn't be a jackpot where 2 people guessed the exact same numbers and got it right. So this is our theoretical probability, saying that if we took all the possible ticket combinations and we created all those tickets and then we just handed them out so that there was only one of each ticket, one person would win. Obviously, that's not going to happen every single time, and so when nobody wins the jackpot, that's how that number continues to increase and increase every single time. Anyway, so I hope you found the breakdown of this Powerball game interesting. If you do choose to play, just remember to play responsibly. I know that the lure of winning millions of dollars can be very interesting and intriguing for people, but just remember the probability isn't that great.